believe from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, and you're willing to put in the work to be the best at your craft, then the money will come. You don't gotta worry about money. All you have to do is decide that you're gonna put the work in, and you're gonna learn what you need to learn to get what you need to get and accomplish what you need to accomplish, and the money will show up. When you have a monetized mindset, operate in a shallow energy where it's only just about making some money. Welcome to Mud2TheSubs. First of all, let's thank God for the blessing of a brand new day and the opportunity to once again enhance self. God could have made our whole life one sunrise and one sunset, but he chose to break it down. So no matter how dark it has been, today we have been blessed with the light of another day. And we are very, very excited to have a guest that I'm going to tell you who he is. This is Strike Money. He was a relevant character in one of the largest grossing, matter of fact, it was the largest grossing hip-hop film of all time. He's worked with experienced colleagues and accomplished colleagues like Mobb Deep. He's worked with the Simmons sisters. He's worked with a lot of people in Hollywood. He has his own clothing line. He actually makes his own movies, has his movies available to be seen right now. This man came a long way. He embodies the movement of Mud2TheSubs, and we are happy to have him, man. What's up, Strike?
What's up, Strike?
Alhamdulillah, man. What's good?
Alhamdulillah. What's going on, man?
Alhamdulillah, man.
When you say it like that, man, it's a big deal, man.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
For sure.
It is a big deal.
You know?
We're glad to have you, man. I first want to ask you, I have so many people that, want to grind and grow and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And whenever they see any of us that say, this guy, he came from Detroit. You're from Detroit.
That's right.
And coming up, and now this guy's rubbing shoulders with the likes of Eminem. He's doing movies with, was it Bokeem Woodbine? Bokeem Woodbine, Tom Sizemore. You know what I mean? And now this guy's and now he has makes his own movies.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about making movies. I'm talking about acting. You direct some. You write them.
Yeah.
I'm his boy Beast.
Yeah.
Tell people a little bit about your journey and how you got to that point, because people are amazed, man. Tell us about it.
Man. First of all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, man, because that's where it come from. The gift come from God.
Alhamdulillah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was blessed with a gift. At 7 years old, I had been writing poetry. I got into poetry when I was young, so I was thought I was going to be like the next Langston Hughes. You know what I mean? And from there, I just kept writing. I think my first hip-hop record that I heard was Daryl and Joe from Run DMC. And
I remember that.
When I heard that record, I was a kid, and it turned me out. And I knew right then and there that hip-hop and writing was going to be my thing. So now, man, I just been writing, and I just started writing movies. I think I was a big fan of Ice Cube. I always give credit to Ice Cube and Spike Lee, one of my teachers. And, following Ice Cube's career, when he made that transition to movies, looking up to him, I was like, man, that's what I want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I seen Boys in the Hood and Cube starring Boys in the Hood, I was like, I could write this. You know what I'm saying? I could do this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that was my inspiration, man.
Yeah, for sure. Cause I think Ice Cube was one of the very first notable people in the industry that kind of made that actual jump. Made it cool for people to want to do movies and things of the like.
Yeah, man. It was a hell of a transition that I seen him, go up against Eazy-E. God, rest in peace, Eazy-E, and fight against NWA. They tried to blackball him.
Yep.
And then
no Vaseline.
No Vaseline. And then he was having the troubles that he was having, and then he became Hollywood's #1 movie maker. People forget about Cube, what he done, his contribution to Hollywood. Shout out to Ice Cube. Shout out to Ice Cube's son. You know what I mean? So shout out to everything Ice Cube is doing, because he's definitely a trailblazer.
Absolutely. And made a classic.
Friday
is no joke.
No joke. All hands down. All hands down.
Everybody talking about that. That's forever. We want to get into that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about
the business side of the things and things of that nature. But just to educate the people from Mud2TheSubs, because that's what the show embodies.
Yes.
You came up in Detroit. Everybody knows it's 8 miles, 7 miles, not just 8 miles, other miles.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Say that. Make sure you say that. Shout out to 6 mile, 7 mile, 8 mile, 9 mile, you know what I mean? mean? Really, 9 Mile is the burbs, but you know what I mean? 5 Mile, Finkel, you know what I mean? Dexter Ave, Mac Ave, man, the Schoolcraft, Lord knows, PA. It's so many streets, man, you know what I mean? So definitely.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this, though. Growing up in Detroit, you had some issues with your dad, like a lot of us did. You know what I mean? What was it like growing up there and having your dad not be absent due to his situation, if you want to share about that?
Yeah, he was, I just remember being with my dad, like, as a shorty, and then all of a sudden, he wasn't there no more.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is my dad lived about 12 blocks away from me on the east side. I used to pass his house every day going to school and didn't know that was where my dad and my grandparents was living at.
Wow.
Because my mother, you know, and that's that thing that we got to break. You know what I'm saying? God rest in peace to my mom who passed away some years ago. But you know, mothers don't want you to be a part of the father's life. You know what I mean? So they kind of try to strip you away from that. So I was walking past my grandfather's house going to school and never knew that was his house. Never knew that was my grandfather until I became 19 years old. So it was definitely a struggle. You know, I had a stepfather, but and he tried. He you know, I can't take nothing away from him, but he was on drugs. You know what I'm saying? Mom was on drugs.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So the streets was kind of like my father. You know what I'm saying? More or less. Yeah.
So you came a long way.
For sure.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, I mean, you came a long way, man. From
yeah.
And the movie that we're referring to, for those you don't know, is 8 Mile.
8 Mile.
With Eminem. That is the largest hip hop movie
largest
ever made.
Hip hop movie ever made. Definitely.
And he played the role of Lickety Split.
Yep.
And you went from there to now doing your own movies.
Yes.
That's crazy, man. It's a heck of a journey.
Yeah.
A heck of a journey, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
No, thank you, man. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
That journey wasn't easy. You know, when I was shooting the movie, a lot of people don't know I was actually on the run from the feds.
Okay.
I had a case in Detroit. I was on Detroit's Most Wanted. I had a assault case and a gun case.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had missed my when it initially happened, the guy who I got into it with was a street cat, so I thought it was gonna take, you know, everything was gonna happen in the streets.
Right.
He went to the police.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Rat.
You know what I mean? He went to the police, and then, you know, next thing I know, I was on TV. They was looking for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
why are you making a movie?
Well, yeah. So what happened was man, crazy story. Molly Finn, shout out to Molly Finn. Rest in peace to Molly Finn and the director of the movie, Curtis Hanson. They both passed away. But I was on a run, and I was with my ex-manager, Mello. He was like, man, what we gonna do tonight? And I was like, man, let's just go out to the spot where everybody used to go to out there in Detroit. And he was like, all right, man, let's go. And I was like, man, what if the police is out there? He said, the police is out there. I'm gonna shoot in the air, and you just run around the corner and pick you up. That was our plan. That's how wild and reckless we was.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That was our plan. And when we pulled up to the spot, you know what I'm saying, where everybody was at, we seen a white lady out there passing out cards. You know what I'm saying? This white lady was Molly Finn, the casting director, but I didn't know. So I'm looking at him, he looking at me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, we got the plan. You know what I mean? We was really that reckless, you know what I mean? Yeah. And getting out, going to the spot, lady walked right up to me. My manager over there by the car, I could see him pulling out, you know what I'm saying? And she gave me the car. In the car said Untitled Detroit Project, and I said, oh, the Eminem movie. I said, I know about this movie. She said, really? What's your name? I said, Strike. She said, Strike, we've been looking for you. We've heard nothing but great news about you, and we got to get you in this movie. And that's exactly how that happened. Anybody who was around me, they know that's exactly how that happened. And she was like, "Can you come out tomorrow to audition for this part? We got this part tailor made for you. We think that you could do this." And I was like, "All right, cool." And the next day, I went out there to the casting, and it was like, man, when I say like the whole Detroit hip hop was in the line.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody who I knew
was trying to get that part.
Trying to get that part, and I didn't know that.
Wow.
So they marched me up. You know what I mean? I'm passing everybody. They like, Strike, what up, what up, what up? At this time, I'm with Proof of D12, rest in peace to Proof. You know what I'm saying? I was his first artist signed on his label. So everybody, you know, they marching me up and they like, where you going? I'm like, I don't know. They taking me up there.
Yeah.
And then I get in there and they had me read the line for when I jumped on the car.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Something about snacks coming out my man.
Yeah.
I remember that part of the movie. The fat boy jokes. The jokes was funny.
Let me ask you a question. So you're experiencing with 8 Mile. You got to be around, of course, you know, one of the, you know, biggest artists or people in the game of the music business, period.
Yeah.
What did you get from his personality? How did he affect you on the set, and how did he deal with the people on the set? How was that experience for you?
M was dope. I can't lie. A lot of people have different experiences with people, but my true experience with Eminem on the set was dope. I can't say nothing. I can never really say nothing bad about Eminem personally ever, because one of the things y'all got to know is like when I got caught, Proof went to M to get 10,000 to buy me out.
Wow.
And Eminem never made me pay back the money.
Wow.
I tried to pay it back to Proof too. I was like, yo, when I got out of prison, I got my residual check. I had like 50,000. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get that back. He's like, M's rich. He ain't thinking about that money. You good?
Wow.
So shout out to Eminem. That's why it's always love with M.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Forever. So on set, M was really like, you could tell he was in his genius mode. You know what I'm saying? So that energy kind of spread it throughout the crew with everybody else, just watching him make that transition. And me, I was the one who kept calling it. I was telling Curtis Hanson the whole time, like, hey, yo, you know, this is about to be the biggest movie ever. And one thing about Curtis Hanson, he was so humble about things. He was like, Strike, chill out, because we don't know how this is going to work. He was like, M could fuck this all up for everybody if he doesn't get this right. And I'm like, he's killing it. I was like, this shit is going to be the biggest hip hop movie ever. I knew it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a good experience, man.
So how long was the actual the actual production or the shoot? How long were you guys shooting that actual film?
I think the whole thing was like 10 months.
Wow.
Yeah. It was big. A big production. $80 million budget.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it made more than that.
Oh yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah, we still get paid to this day.
And it was shot actually in Detroit.
It was shot in Detroit.
The full movie.
The whole movie. Yep, the whole movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, they recreated the whole Detroit hip hop scene for that movie, which I thought was dope. Yeah, the history.
That's decent.
The history.
So when people out there got a dream, want to be successful,
yeah,
just know somebody had a dream about an 8 Mile movie, where they come from, they hood,
yeah,
and it turned into the biggest movie hip hop of all
biggest
time.
Biggest movie ever.
Like if you was to tell people, somebody say, well, what about the staff? Because it's always a team.
Always.
It's never just one person. You know, what
Always.
about not just Eminem, but the staff, the lights, the cameras, the actors? What about? Tell me 2 things about their attitude that you saw that helped develop that into the biggest thing ever. Because sometimes we forget that your attitude determines your altitude, and the best attitude is a gratitude attitude.
There's no question. I think what I seen was the best attitude from everybody. Here's the thing I want to say: the staff and the team are really the most important people on the team.
Wow,
they are. The guy right now who's doing Mud2TheSubs cameras right now, and I seen him doing the lights and everything. He's like attentive. His attitude is positive. He's talking back with you guys, or whatever you need. Do you need whatever you need? Whatever you need. Whatever you need. That's the energy you got to have around you in order to do this.
Absolutely.
If you don't have that type of energy around you, you got to get rid of them, because those people are the most important things. Because you could be setting up the camera right, but your synergy you could be giving off, could destroy everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So the guys who was working on that set, from the staff, from the catering, you know, everybody was so happy to be there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was grateful, because everybody had an understanding of we was making history, like what Mud2TheSubs is doing right now.
Absolutely.
You guys are making history. So anybody that's a part of this right now, that's a part of your set, they should have that attitude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when the NBA first became the NBA, they knew that this was going to be a historical move that was going to be around forever. Mud2TheSubs is going to be around forever. So,
correct.
You know what I mean?
Inshallah.
So the attitude has got to be all-star high level. elite.
Let me ask you another question. This is just, something that just came to my mind. Sometimes people are actually known in their city before they actually get out there.
Of course.
Was Eminem someone that was known in the city before he got out there?
Definitely. M was, so M had the endorsement from Proof. Proof is the one who really made people say, all right, we're going to check out the white boy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because Detroit is a black city.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got our white side, but Detroit as a whole is a black city. And for a white rapper to be able to, go through that or penetrate that pause, you know what I'm saying? Or not on duty, as my man say. You know what I mean? That was a hellified move. So Proof was the one who really said, no, listen, y'all got to listen to M. Y'all got to listen to M. And once people started listening to him, they realized that he wasn't just the average white kid that was rapping. He really had something that was different and unique about him. You know what I mean? And then,
absolutely,
he was around, and not to take nothing away from M, but I think he was just around a bunch of dope people, Dirty Dozen, Outsiders, Young Z, Pace One, Raw Digger, Redman. He was around all of these energies. So I think that even helped him, develop even more. You know what I'm saying? He just took it to another level.
Absolutely. So, can you imagine Proof's attitude towards M? He believed in him. He had a lot of faith in. And I want to piggyback on what we talked about earlier about everybody playing a role. You know what I mean? I know we had an image through the public eye that Proof and M was real close, but he played a major part in his success.
Major.
And I always tell people, the other day we had cleaners come clean the studio, and I looked him in the eye and said, you guys play a very important role here. And he didn't know if I was just talking to him or I was being serious. Mm-hmm. And I explained to him, I said, well, what if in this studio we close $1 million deals, right? And I got somebody to say, you know what? I got it. Deal closed. And he go use the bathroom before he signed, right? But the bathroom is filthy.
Oh, man.
He might change his mind.
Yeah.
So at that moment in time, the bathroom cleaner was the most valuable person in the company.
That's right.
And you can't discount anything. So basically, Proof looked at Eminem while he didn't have all that and said, hey, I believe in you. You're valuable, and look how much I'm sure that Eminem gave some of that energy back to Proof when he became successful.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? I wanted him to give more. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I wanted him to give more because I felt like Proof was supposed to be in that spot where 50 was at, and that's nothing to take away from 50. Because 50 definitely earned it. You know what I mean? When 50 came through, it was like, okay, it's a tornado about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Detroit just always wanted to see Proof that big as well. You know what I'm saying? But through, politics and a whole bunch of
life is politics.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff from behind closed doors. It just didn't go that way.
I understand. A lot of people don't know me and you knocked on doors together.
That's right.
Our beginnings came from being door-to-door salespeople.
Door-to-door.
I was actually your trainer.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yep.
And we learned a lot. But I want to talk about how the lessons that we learned from door-to-door and that sales crew that people, you was a door-to-door salesman. Yeah. How much it affected your ability to grow into a clothing line, a movie man that you are today. Tell us about those lessons we learned.
So here's some crazy stuff that I'm going to tell everybody right now that I learned at least 90% of my dialect from Sai, him and Dul. You know what I'm saying? Especially Sai, because me and Sai was together like every day, every day. So for me, the experience coming from Detroit, being around some cats from the East Coast,
right?
East Coast has always been like advanced. Mm-hmm. To me, you know what I mean? Like all the cats from the East Coast was always like, you know what I mean? Like had a different hustle, had a different move. It was like, damn, what's y'all on this? So, you know what I mean? I remember going out with Sai. He talking to somebody at the door, a complete stranger, and they spent $500 with him, $700 with him, $800 with him. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, teach me this. So it helped cultivate me to who I am today. Definitely,
absolutely.
The positive talks, the positive thought for the days. Just to hear, we come from an area where everybody is just always negative. Mm-hmm. So people always got something negative to say.
Absolutely.
So to be able to go on the magazine crew and see young people your age, 18, 19 years old, and they speaking positive, you know what I'm saying? That just opened up a whole new door in my life. You know what I mean? And it really gave us, gave people like me the energy to be like, you could do this too.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. Being in the door-to-door sales, doing that, you and Saeed doing that, how important, can you explain to the people, the viewers, how important it is to have that type of sales mentality, to be able to go door to door and speak to people, be real personable with them face to face?
I think it's the best quality in life to have. Definitely. If you great at door to door, you can do anything.
Absolutely.
If you can go door to door and get somebody's attention and have them spend with you, a complete stranger, especially doing what we was doing. We were selling people stuff they didn't want.
Yeah.
They didn't need no books or magazines, so we really wasn't selling magazines. That's the one thing that I learned from Saeed going door to door. He never sold a magazine. he never a magazine. He was selling himself, and once they liked him, then it was like whatever he had, he could just give it to him.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And he could write them up for how much, because it didn't even matter no more, because they liked him. Once they took an interest in him, and that was the whole game. And I said, oh, this ain't about the product. I'm the product.
Absolutely.
I'm the product. Oh, buddy, it's over with now, because I'm going to talk about me the best way. You can't beat me being me. You know
and people didn't realize going to the door-to-door thing, it makes you a superhero.
Oh,
because
definitely.
When you have the ability to make a stranger like you, then there's a lot of different variations of sales. One sale is, okay, you gave me some money.
Yeah.
The other sale may be, just don't call the police on me.
Yeah.
The other sell may be, don't hate when your neighbor give me some money.
That's right.
The other sell may be, can you believe that I'm not a criminal?
That's right.
The other sell may be, I'm not going to buy from you, but the next person that comes by next month when I'm in a better mood, I'm going to spend $1,000 with him.
That's right.
Just because you sold me on the idea that everything you represent is good. So guys got to take the time to learn to be positive and learn to interact with people, because when you do that, you become a superhero.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the ingredients of a salesman is a person who can go through a neighborhood, and no matter white, black, Chinese, whoever's in that neighborhood, you have the ability to shake a hand, make a friend, and make a transaction. And if you learn that, that's everything in life.
Absolutely. And again, nothing don't mean that without good character. We wrote
Sure.
an interview sheet. We have something called an information interview sheet through Mud2TheSubs.
Yeah.
And I asked you, I said, Strike, what is your biggest accomplishment? And you said, becoming a Muslim and having my family.
Wow.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
Man,
That's heavy.
yeah, man, because when I took my Shahada, here's the thing what people don't know. I don't even think you know this. I got interested in Islam the day that Otis called Saeed and Abdul up to do a prayer one day. And I remember this like it was. I remember it like it just happened. The sales was down, and he said, "Coopers, come up." That's how he used to talk like.
He did.
Y'all come up. Do the prayer. No. Do the prayer how y'all do the prayer at the mosque. And they said Fatiha in Arabic, and I was 19 years old. That's the first time I ever heard the Fatiha. And I remember like 2 days before that, I was praying, because I grew up in a church, and I was like, why am I praying to Jesus? I was like, Jesus is not God. So I stopped praying. I stopped saying Jesus, and I was like, my prayers went straight to God. 2 days later, I heard the Fatiha, and when I heard them do the Fatiha, it touched my soul.
Alhamdulillah.
And I was like, what the heck was that? That day, the sales went up. It was like 3 or 4 red vans. Everybody was making money, and I remember that. And then I went home and met a guy named Abdul Jalil and started studying Islam and became Muslim. So just knowing that God chooses everybody to become Muslim, and Muslim is the best thing that could ever happen to you.
Absolutely.
If you become Muslim, you won. If you become a millionaire, that's cool. You know what I mean? If you make money, that's cool. If you're able to, do all the great things you want to do in life, that's cool. But if you just die a Muslim, you won.
Absolutely.
That's the greatest. That's the greatest victory.
Ain't nothing
right
better than that.
Ain't nothing better
Sure.
than that. So, so how can that not be my greatest accomplishment? Coming from where I come from, juvenile jail, prison, in the streets, wanted by the FBI, you know what I mean? All that old crazy stuff, to becoming a Muslim, like, wow. Yeah, that's, you know what I mean? And you know, that's it. That's the victory right there. Anything else is a bonus. And I have to remember that myself, because chasing these goals, chasing these dreams, chasing these admirations, chasing all these things you write down on the wall, you find yourself chasing all of that, but are you chasing your deen? And that's a message to myself.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I try to keep that balance, like, yo, you chasing all of this, but are you trying to learn Arabic? Are you learning more hadiths? Are you doing more good deeds? Or how is it gonna be when you die? You gonna get your book in your right hand, or you gonna be jammed up? Like, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
Allah protect us from
You
that.
know, I mean. So I understand that, okay, I gotta be chasing that, because all of this is temporary. The Prophet ﷺ said we are travelers just passing through. We just passing through here. And as I look at my age now, I look young, but I ain't a young boy no more.
Nah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, it's getting close. It's getting close. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look back, I was 19, it felt like 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely. And I see you sitting over here wearing your own clothing line too.
Definitely. You know what I mean?
Alhamdulillah. You know what I mean? Tell us about Strike Money Clothing.
No, man, Strike Money Clothing is the brand that we all do when we wake up in the morning. Everybody got to go strike money.
Absolutely.
You gotta pay bills. You gotta pay, you know, any type of bills. You gotta get money. You gotta take care of your family. It's like striking oil, striking gold, strike money. You know, so this brand was really for the awareness of what's going on over in China with the Muslims. That's why everybody say, why the Asian dude, and what is his hands doing? Well, he's actually making dua. He's making dua, and the letters in Chinese are prosperity and blessings. So he's making dua for prosperity and blessings every time you wear these clothes.
Wow. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Been
knowing you 30 years and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, man, you learn something every day. Strike, man. I would never guess that, man. To be honest, I would never guess that that's what that meant.
Yeah, that's what that means, man. And everybody loves it, man. I got drops from Ice-T, Boosie, some of the biggest people in Hollywood. They loving it. You know, I got some ammo, man, ready to come out for this marketing plan for Strike Money Clothing, man.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about movies.
Let's go.
Because I hadn't talked to you in some years.
Let's go.
And I flipped on my TV.
Let's go.
And all of a sudden, I seen your movie, Two Brothers.
Yeah.
I said, wow, Strike, man, that's heavy. Alhamdulillah, man.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, if somebody wanted to get into movies, because there's money in movies, obviously.
Definitely a lot of money.
You don't got to be the Lion King to make some money.
No,
you know what I
don't.
mean? So
No.
tell us a little bit about the movie business and how that's going for you along with your clothing line.
No, definitely. You definitely don't have to be the Lion King. You just need to be a lion. That's it.
Say that one more time.
You don't have to be a Lion King. You just got to be a lion, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, what I was doing, man, was waiting on my opportunity, saving my money up, because I knew I could shoot movies. Shout out to Kadir Aid, a French Muslim from overseas. He came to America. He shot 513 with Bo King Woodbine, Danny Trejo, Malik Barnhart, Cisco Reeves. Man, it was a star-studded cast, and I got a chance to be in the movie, but I got a chance to shadow him.
Okay.
You know, he let me shadow him the whole time. He let me shadow the whole production, and I seen how he shot this thing.
Okay.
You know, with his energy, I seen how he directed. I seen all the camera views. I seen everything, and I was like, I could do this. I could do this. And what made me know I could do this is when I went in California, right before I hooked up with y'all, I shot a sitcom, a TV show. It's called Two of a Kind. And literally after we shot the first episode, the next day, Will Smith came out with the same type of TV show that came on TV. And all my people was like, damn, man. They was all down. And me, I was smiling. And my boy was like, man, what are you smiling about? We just shot this and he just came out with a show like yours. I said, because great minds think alike.
Absolutely.
I said, and if I just made this and he came out with it, I said, I got it. You know what I mean? So years later, after losing my grandmothers and my mother and my father and my mother-in-law back to back, I just stayed strong and stayed busy. And took my money that I was saving up and I started shooting projects, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
What you working on now?
So I'm working on a project right now that's done. Actually, it's called Interrogation Room. Shout out to IHQ Network.
Okay.
Radiant TV. Let's talk about it, man. Radiant right now, man, is where everybody want to be at. If you're shooting podcasts, you got content, you want to be over there because Radiant is paying out the highest revenue share to CPM, the cost per milli. A lot of people don't understand what that CPM means, how it's structured. That means for every 1,000 views, you're paid a certain amount. And what you don't understand is YouTube is only paying you 25% of or 30% of the CPM.
Wow.
Instagram is only paying $4 CPM. So that means they could be getting $50, $40, but they're only gonna pay you $4 for that CPM. Radiant is paying you 80% of that CPM or 90% of that CPM, depending on, you know, your deal that you get over there structured. And it's the best place to be for artists, and it's really moving at a fast pace. Mike Tyson's over there, Eddie Griffin's over there, Ric Flair's over there. I just signed Trina Braxton. She's over there working out the deal with Bruce and Faison Love right now, who's coming over there. Lil Baby and Future's coming over there. Man, the list is going and going and going and going and going. So I got a project called Interrogation Room, which they say is the, you know, it's really crazy what they compare this movie to, because they say it's the Friday of this time. Wow. Of our generation right now. It's a comedy that I wrote, directed, starred in. Got some of the biggest talent in it, the biggest influences in it. McAfoo, shout out to McAfoo from Dallas, Texas. He's going viral every day. 50 Cent reposted him. Big Homie Blocks, Lil Duval, Snoop, and them then reposted all of these guys. Bella Black, Fireman, my man Drip Squad QV, Shorty Low Jr., you know, rest in peace to Shorty Low from Atlanta. His son is in the movie. And a gang of other people are in the movie. Miss Yella from Dallas is in the movie. Shout out to Miss Yella, 729 Cosmetics. She's doing her thing. We really got the culture movie of this day and time right now, Interrogation Room. So IHQ is getting ready to launch. I just signed them to Radiant. They're getting ready to do a big rollout November 14th. We dropping this movie, man. And we looking to go 10 million the first week. It's going to be at $4.99, and I made it $4.99 so that the poorest person in the hood could afford this movie.
Absolutely, everybody got $5.
Everybody got $5. You know what I'm saying? The richest people got $5, and the poorest people got $5. So there's no excuse on you can't, you know what I'm saying, purchase this movie. And then what I did was I cross-branded. You know what I'm saying? I made sure that I was wearing the clothes in the movies. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Two Brothers, which is out on Tubi. Two Brothers is out on Radiant right now. Download Radiant in your app store with the orange funnel. The orange funnel, Radiant TV. I made sure that I wore the clothes in the movies. You know what I'm saying? I made sure I put Miss Yella's cosmetic line in the movie, the cross brand. And it's going well, man. So we expect major results from Interrogation Room. In fact, you might end up being an executive producer on it.
Oh, definitely an opportunity.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, we let her put our hands to something else. You know how we do over here. You know what I mean? Alhamdulillah. As long as it's halal, I'm interested.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? That's good, man. That's strong. And that's smart. You putting your own brands in there, people that you know, your family, your own businesses, and it's about ownership. We have a saying, what do we say about ownership, Fiq, all the time?
We got so many sayings.
Ownership is everything.
Yes, for sure. Ownership is everything. Yes.
Ownership is everything. So we try to own everything, man. The buildings, the businesses, everything.
No, speaking of ownership, it's so important to own your IPs. You know what I'm saying? Because like Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying, who made, when we talk about Friday, Ice Cube, who made one of the biggest comedies that we still watch to this day, he doesn't own the IP. You know what I'm saying? So that means when he dies, his kids won't be able to benefit from that IP like they should, which is unfair if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? So ownership is everything. Having your own IP is everything. I own all my IPs. So if something was to ever happen to me, God forbid, but you know, my day will come, you know, hopefully 50, 60 years from now. You know what I mean? And when that day comes, inshallah, my kids will be able to own the IP and still make money off of it. You see, they still playing Friday to this day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They still
tell the people what IP means, though.
So your intellectual property. That's what your IP means. And see, it's like if you was in music, it would be considered like your masters. You know what I'm saying? The ownership of that of that body of work that you created. You know what I'm saying? That's yours. And that's why I shout out to Wallow and Gilly for being smart to license their IP.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Never sell your IP, but license your IP off for a big giant bag.
Define license.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, so licensing is allowing somebody to have a partnership in your IP for a certain amount of time. So you and them would share that IP, and then they would give you a big lump sum of money, and they would be hoping to make that lump sum of money back from the ad revenue.
Oh, so they didn't sell the house; they rented a room.
They rented a room.
Correct.
Basically.
That's a lot of millions for renting.
Oh
a room.
yeah, a lot of millions for renting a room.
Could have got a room in my house for cheaper.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm
definitely.
And this is actually real important information because people aren't aware of the opportunities they can have later on down the line by not just selling out and taking the lump sum of cash or just selling everything. So by leasing it out or licensing it out, it allows you to actually get it back at some point, right?
Yeah, and here's the great thing about this. See, what happens is like, and I won't say the name of this movie or the director, but a director put out a movie, and sometimes like we might put out a movie, you know what I'm saying, that might not do good when you first put it out. You might not have the marketing money all together to really do it how you want it to. So the movie might just hit a little bit, but not really do like you want it to do, and then you end up selling the IP. So this director, he put out a movie, it didn't do well, and then he ended up selling the IP to Netflix. Netflix bought it. 2 years later, they decided to re-showcase this movie. You know what I'm saying?
And let me guess, it made money.
And it made millions.
Wow.
And this guy didn't get nothing.
That's terrible.
Because he sold the IP off.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just pays to be patient, and it pays to really just license your IP, not sell it.
And this isn't no regular subject. There's a lot of people out there who believe in Mud2TheSubs that want to go into media, that want to go into, acting, that want to go into movies, and we don't really listen to music, but want to go into maybe spoken word or music. Yeah. So you guys can reach out to Strike on Instagram because he's gonna launch that consulting company I've been telling him about,
definitely,
where you can pay, you know what I mean, to learn some of these things.
Definitely.
And we probably gonna partner up with him because there's nothing wrong with us getting a little cut too.
We
We're gonna show you how it's done.
Go ahead and
you know what I mean? And it's always a pleasure to see you, but it's more of a pleasure that we're on a mission to help people grow with Mud2TheSubs. And every guest, we always ask this.
Yeah.
If you was to speak to the people and give them 3 things that they need to be successful coming from Strike Money, Strike Cash, what would you say to the people?
I would definitely say the first thing is God all day long.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're Muslim, Christian, Jewish, whatever you are, keep God in your corner. I'm telling you, it's going to be some dark nights. It's going to be some lonely nights. It's going to be some times where you're ready to give up, when you're ready to quit, when you're ready, you just don't see your direction. It happens to the best of us, and God is the only thing that's going to be the light in that tunnel. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some vision. You got to have some vision, man. Some of the greatest people in this world, you look at Walt Disney, you know what I mean? Vision. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Steve Jobs, we talking about vision. When you look at Spike Lee, we talking about vision. You know what I mean? You gotta have some vision, man. And you gotta have, the last thing I would say is some stick-to-itness. You just gotta stick to it. What I watched you do over the years is stick to it, your salesman craft. You know what I mean? You stuck it out. You really, you stayed to it, whether it was having a door-to-door sales company or having this type of company or that type of company. You stuck to it, and it became successful for you. It's the minute that you throw in the towel, that you quit, that you give up, that you become negative. You know what I mean? You have this bad energy. You know what I mean? That negativity will destroy your whole empire. It will take you out the game. And you could be right there. I'm talking about right there. And, something's great about to happen to you, but you don't show up, and all of a sudden you miss the opportunity.
Absolutely. Zig Ziglar wrote about it. He called it 3 feet from gold.
3 feet from gold.
You can go 100 miles to gold, and you may stop 3 feet before you reach what you was looking for.
Yeah, like priming the pump. The guy who's priming the pump, he's priming it, and the pump, you got to keep priming it, you know what I'm saying, in order for the water to come up. And The guy is priming the pump, and he's tired of priming the pump, and his friend walks up to him, and he's like, man, I'm tired of this thing, and he slams it down, and his friend is smart. He's like, yo, what are you doing? He grabs it and keeps pumping, because if he stopped priming the pump, he would have to start all over. His guy pumps it 4 more times, wham, 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 the water comes out the well.
Wow.
So let me ask you, let's rewind a little bit. I want to ask you another question in regards to the actual, movie business, social media, branding, so forth and so on. So in order for someone to get on your platform, right?
Yeah.
Now, do they have to have a movie already produced? Do they have to have some type of recognition?
For Radiant?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. They have to have some type of content.
Right.
See, Radiant is the only spot where you can put up movies, TV shows, reels, podcasts, music videos, and gaming. So you have to have some type of content, but then it's not, I don't want you to understand, I want you to understand Radiant as knowing that it's not a YouTube user friendly type of, I can just upload my stuff to Radiant.
Okay.
Right.
No, it's a television broadcasting streaming network.
Okay.
You got to know somebody to get a deal. And as the owner, Mr. Prophecy Onassis, shout out to Prophecy Onassis, the tech genius. This guy is phenomenal. His team, Shauna, Natasha, you know what I'm saying, Space, the whole team down there in Vegas, Jock, Joe, everybody that's on the team is phenomenal. So you would have to know somebody to get this deal. Second thing is you would have to be somebody who's actually putting in the work.
Right.
Because, like YouTube, you could put something on YouTube, but who's gonna know it's there? You gotta be willing to put in the work, you gotta be willing to tell the people where it's at, you gotta be willing to be in the grind, and you gotta be consistent. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, I take a little name over a big name. Because a little name who's consistent, grinding, ambitious, strong, it's not the dog, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Absolutely.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Versus the big dog who's like, yeah, I'm such and such, but they not really gonna do the work. That little dog is gonna outwork them. Mm-hmm. So I look for those little dogs that's coming up, that's popping, that's grinding, that's gonna be the next Denzel Washingtons, the next Spike Lees, the next Mud2TheSubs,
Next Disney.
You know what I'm saying? The next Disney. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously.
So also, how important is it, for people to really take the initiative and basically bet on themselves?
Man, I swear, man. This is a very, very strong topic right here, man, because I was just talking to my wife in the bed, man, and I was showing her the trailer for Interrogation Room.
Right.
And she never seen it. Ish never seen it. You know what I mean? Ish, she just be like, all right, cool. What are you doing? All right, clothing line. All right, cool. She's the most humblest lady around, you know what I mean, when it comes to success. She don't trip. She's been with 50 Cent to damn near Adam Sandler, and she never is like, oh my God. She's just like, oh, hey, what's up? Okay, all right,
That's
y'all.
right.
You know
Well, that's how she's supposed to be when she got a husband.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Definitely. So I pull up the trailer because I'm talking to a couple people about raising up this money for this marketing because we're getting ready to roll out November 14th. And I'm like, okay, we got this going in place. We just need a little bit right here. And she like, what you talking about? I said, man, look. And I show her the trailer. And she goes, what the fuck? She's like, I said, yeah, I know you never seen it. She's like, damn. And I said, you see how important it is to bet on yourself? T.I. said, if you're not going for it, if you're not risking it all, and this is emotional for me, man. I'm telling you because I risked it all, man.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, man, I risked it all, man. I had people going against me from day one, telling me what I ain't going to do, telling me what I ain't going to be, telling me how it ain't going to work out for me. You know what I'm saying? Telling me I was a wannabe, I was a this or that. You know what I'm saying? And telling me that 8 Mile was only my only thing. I've heard so many backlashes. Them people not knowing I done did damn near 10 other films. You know what I'm saying? Still doing films. Just got through shooting a movie. Shout out to Man Robinson out from Detroit and Atlanta, biggest film producer out there in Atlanta. I just did some of his movies. I just played a newscaster in his big movie that's coming out.
Wow.
you know, doing these movies, Aces High, TV show Aces High, got 2 episodes done. Two Brothers, part 1 and part 2, that's on Tubi and Radiant right now. Interrogation Room, the biggest comedy, #1 comedy movie of the decade. Definitely all hands down. You know what I'm saying? All hands down. I feel like Muhammad Ali in the ring. Can't nobody beat me when it comes to this writing.
Wow.
No, seriously. And Atlanta knows that. You know, Man Robinson, all the big dogs in Atlanta, Georgia, who know Strike Money, they like, yo, you can't mess with him with his writing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's blessed by God. I open up my computer and I say, okay, God, let's go. What we doing? And I literally do that. I say, what we doing? And while other people, they study the book, the Cat in the Hat and all this and all that, and they have to have their procedures of school. I've never been to school. I've never did none of that. This is strictly a gift from God, and I outright the best of them.
Absolutely.
So you gotta really bet on yourself, man.
Wow, for sure.
If you don't bet on yourself, man, you might end up working for somebody for the rest of your life.
Let me ask you another question, which is something that I believe is very important. Eliminating bad habits. You know, people have a lot of bad habits, and those bad habits can hinder them. What's your thoughts on? What's your advice to people in eliminating those bad habits?
I seen a lot of people in Hollywood on dope. I ain't gonna say no names because some of them are friends. Some of them I'm really good friends with. I seen a lot of them on dope coming to the set. I'm talking about A-list actors, and they got to get right because they on dope.
That's sad.
They got to take them to the back room. They sloppy. They look, you know what I mean? But then Hollywood is like it's something different, man. I've seen them come on the set looking messed up. They hold up the set for 2 hours, maybe even 3 sometime to shoot. But then when they come out, they look like nothing ever happened.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's sad because then those people you start watching them do this. You know what I mean? So my thing has always been to follow Denzel Washington. Follow his moves, man. Stay clean. Stay away from the drugs. Stay away from the parties, the Hollywood parties. You know what I mean? Stay away from that. I remember going to a Hollywood party and seeing some of your favorite celebrities in there and seeing people doing drugs, doing coke. And I'm fresh out of Detroit in California, so I'm like, I'm all loud, like, man, what the fuck they? And my man like, yo, chill. This, you gonna see this a lot out here. You know what I mean? And if you acting like that, they're not gonna allow you to come around.
Yeah, well, I mean, Allah protect us from that. And as Mud2TheSubs grows, I just want to say we're not interested.
No, definitely not.
None of that. You know what I mean? And I want to speak on the dangers of what you talked about, Tawfiq, about you talk about habits, right?
Correct. Yes.
Well, see, habits is the seed to your character tree.
Yes, it is.
Right? Because you're supposed to watch your thoughts, they become your words.
Yes.
And you watch your words, they become your actions.
Yes, they do.
And you watch your actions, they become your habits. And you watch your habits because they become your character.
Wow.
And that
so
becomes your destiny.
Your habits is exactly who you are.
That's right.
What makes you Muslim is the habit to pray.
Oh, man. Yeah. well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, if you don't pray, you ain't Muslim.
Sure.
On the day of Yom Kippur, it's going to be Muslims in the hellfire. And we're going to be wondering why they're in the hellfire is because they didn't pray. And that's scary.
May Allah protect us from that.
I mean. So that's something that I don't play with. I'm hitting them 5 everywhere, anywhere I go. I told my wife, I said, I'm dying if my finger's around the rope of Allah like this, I'm gonna die like that with my finger around the rope. But I ain't coming off the rope of Allah, not for this world.
Inshallah.
Because it's temporary.
Yes.
All this stuff is a temporary thing. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
It's gonna come, it's gonna go. They just found another planet. This they said is made out of diamonds.
Wow.
And it's like 10 times bigger than the Earth.
I'm not surprised.
You know, I'm not surprised either. You know what I'm saying?
So, I bet you they didn't go there though.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
No, man. So what you just said right there, your habits is everything. If you got a habit, you know, like, if your habits is horrible, then you become horrible. But if your habits are great, then you become great.
You hear that, Mud2TheSubs?
You know,
develop good habits.
Definitely.
And you can be successful, man.
Definitely.
It was enlightening having you on the show today, man.
Oh, man.
For sure.
Alhamdulillah, man. And I feel like the people definitely gonna learn something. I mean, I learned a lot about movies. I learned a lot about Strike Money Clothing. it's no doubt I definitely want a couple sweatsuits.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now that I know what they mean.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, you know, y'all got to tune in to Mud to the Subs, man, and you can go. What's your Instagram, Strike?
Yeah, official Strike Money. You want to get an outfit? DM me. You got to DM me and hit me. You got to hit me with that $50 deposit though, because we don't be playing about them orders. Because you know what I'm saying. This is strict. This is not outfits. This like ironed on to somebody else's outfit. This is all straight from scratch.
Okay.
Cloths. Straight from cloths. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And stitched and everything put together. So definitely DM me, hit me up, official Strike Money on my Instagram, Strike Money 1 on Twitter, Strike Cash on Facebook, Strike Money on TikTok as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Strike, man, for coming through the show, man. And listen, I'm gonna hold you to something. You said once we make another move that we're gonna make, you said you possibly be moving here. So
no, listen, man. Listen here, man. What y'all are doing right now in Philadelphia is historical. And for me, I've been grateful to Allah to be always a part of something that was historically happened. You know, from 8 Mile to now, even being on Mud2TheSubs right now, podcast, this is a historical interview. This is a historical moment in time right now for black businesses, you know what I'm saying, for podcasts, you know what I'm saying. This is a historical time, but it's only as big as you believe it is.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So if you treat it like it's just another podcast, then it's just another podcast. To me, this is not just another podcast. I watched Jay Prince sit on this couch. I'm sitting on the same couch as Jay Prince sat on. Like, stop playing.
Well, he was. We interviewed. Wasn't on the couch.
But
it actually was in Newark. But I understand what you're saying.
He's on the same platform.
On the same platform.
Yeah,
Yep. Jay Prince.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. And you've had other legends on this platform.
Yep. Charlie Clips.
Charlie Clips. You know what I mean. You got Sean Porter coming out.
Yeah, got and much more.
Yeah,
much
more.
Much
You know
more.
what I'm saying?
Shout out to Tobias.
Yeah.
Y'all check out our sports show, TBISC.
Yeah, man.
Tell them about that feat.
Yeah, TBIC, the best in sports entertainment. You know, we TNS Media Group. We got a lot going on. So anybody who's interested in being a part of Mud2TheSubs or TBISC, reach out to us, man. We are definitely what they say. We're definitely in the building because we definitely better on ourselves. That was me and Saeed's one of our things that we decided that we wanted to do in business. We've always bet on ourselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we've sometimes decided to assist people and try to help people with their dreams, but it's always better to bet on yourself and surround yourself with hungry people, because if someone's hungry, it's going to show.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Well,
I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's why you bet on yourself.
Yeah. Correct. Well, I'm definitely hungry. I'm definitely dedicated. I'm definitely motivated, you know what I'm saying, to be around greatness, especially with my friends. You know what I'm saying? Let me say this, man. It is a lonely world in this entertainment business. Wow. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself on depressed alley road.
Yeah, may Allah protect us from that.
May Allah protect us from that, man, because I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to be around my brothers, we all praying the same way. You know what I'm saying? We all got the same goal in mind, which is to get to Jannah. You know what I'm saying? Take care of our families. You know what I mean? And have a great life. There could be nothing better than being around that type of energy. I trade that for Hollywood all day.
Absolutely.
So and you're building Hollywood right here. So why not? Why wouldn't I be here? Why wouldn't I be here to assist my brothers in what they're doing, with bringing my specialties here to assist what's already happening? Because it's gonna happen with or without me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, shoot. Hey, man, I lit Atlanta on fire. I came, I saw, I conquered. That's real.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We got a whole block out there in Atlanta right now, 30,000 square feet building, and, all type of stuff going on out there in Atlanta. I done shot 5 projects out there in Atlanta. I don't got nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? I got the biggest movie, Jason Maserati, coming out. It's the Black James Bond movie. Shout out to Elijah Lamar. Shout out to Stephen Phillips. Man, there's so many big people that's in this movie. It's still in post. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to What You Cooking, Creative Visuals. You know what I mean? And man, everybody who helped put this thing together. You know what I'm saying? Man, shoot.
Well, we coming together on a project.
Yeah, so
you know,
definitely.
It's named The Bond.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, let's look out for that. We're gonna get that all set up. But it's
So
you know,
I'm in.
Yeah, he's with his Sahaba,
with my Sahaba
companions. Alhamdulillah. And listen, we cocked, we locked, we ready to rock. You heard it from the best.
Day.
You know what I mean? We ready to go. Mud to the subs, man. Yeah. That's our story, and we sticking to it.
Definitely.
Able to look at the tape and see exactly what your stats are. Don't be shy about what your stats are, man. How many of us want to go out there and we want to lose weight? How many of us say, you know what, I gotta lose weight, I want to get smaller, but we scared to step on a scale and look at where we are in the first place? Don't be scared, man. You can get to your journey, but you gotta be realistic and gotta start somewhere. Embrace the start and go for yours.